Good morning. Lovely to see you all. Have a little chat about gender this morning. And that's not sexual gender either. You got to be careful what you say nowadays. I'm telling you, you get the Fort Police round, you'll be arrested. And of course, George Orwell warned us about this, didn't he? Eric Blair, the man that used to work for the British Buttering Corporation. Blimey, you lot are steaming on here a bit lively this morning. Let's come around the other side so you don't get the sunlight in your face. My mate's always telling me, Dave, when you're doing your recordings, make sure the sun's behind you. So here we go, sun's behind us this morning. How we doing, people? Agenda 2021, I'm going to call this, all right? We're certainly living in some weird times. Beth, how are you, darling? You all right? Awaken world. Hey, buongiorno. Buongiorno. Lovely to see you. Alison Goulding, Raj Barley. How you doing, Raj? You all right? Oh, it's my dog drinking from the water. I thought the police had turned up again. Bonnet de douche. Yes, loving it, Del Boy. My Wiseling platform's going good. We're getting a lot of people steam on the Wiseling platform, and they're now earning daily interests. It seems to be really good. Really good. So if you want to know about the Wiseling platform, hit me up on my David Witcher profile, and I'll talk you through it. Or YouTube videos on Wiseling. And of course, you're going to get naysayers. Oh, David, don't work. Look, for $50, 38 quid, which is the price of a sort of family Chinese takeaway. I thought, yeah, why not? But I'd done £100. But anyway, we've got people doing more. We've got people doing $50. It doesn't matter. They're up and they're running and they're bringing their referrals in. It's fantastic. Fiona Pullen was just watching a video on bailiffs. Still not sure if their rock up yesterday. Court was at 10. God bless you. Honestly, what a situation we find ourselves in this country. Man, I swear to God, the old German Fourth Reich certainly took over. They really did. None of our courts, none of the judges care about any of us. Couldn't care. They see us as locusts and vermin, and all we are to them is cash signs. Cash. Cash. How much we're going to make out of this one today? And all of your fines and that you're paying obviously goes into judges' slush funds and pensions. They're having a whale of a time. These people are living the dream, ladies and gentlemen. Can I see your papers? Papers, please. Anyway, so this morning, I've just been up to an old golf mate's of mine, him and his wife, to have a look at putting a new bathroom suite in and plastering the room and so on. We do everything when it comes to all that. And I haven't seen him for a while. And on the way up, I'd gone past a pub that used to be open. That, it was a community pub. It was where people used to go and have a few sherbets, and they used to play this really weird game in there, right? And it's quite macabre, right? When you get your head around this game. So I sat in there once, and I was having my tickle trout souffle starter or mousse starter, and I said to this young waitress that come up to me, she was quite buxom. She poked both of them in my ears as she bent down to pick me empty plate up, which was very warm. It's quite a chilly pub. And I said to her, what's this game you lot playing? Because there's all the names up on the board, and there's all this monetary value, £2 a week or £1 a week, and the value's going up. And I said, you've got Margaret Thatcher, General Gualtieri, you've got Paul McCartney, Rod Stewart, and I'm thinking, what's this? And she said, there's a big list to get on that. I went, is there? She said, yeah, you can't just join it. You have to be invited in. I went, what's it all about? She said, right, what people do is they pay £1 a week or £2 a week, £8 a month, and this pot goes up and up and up and up and up. And what they do is they put a name up on the board who they think's going to die next. And I went, oh, my God. And I went, wow. And it was just at the time. And she said, it's all right. Someone's just been paid out on it. She said, because they had Maggie Thatcher. So we've got people betting on who's going to die next. I'm like, oh, my good God, what sort of a people are we? But it's true. It was a disgusting. I thought myself, it's kind of quirky and weird because the British, the English, the Irish, the Scots, we're quite a weird people, wouldn't you agree? You know, we really are. But anyway, I'm driving past this pub, having fond memories of the buxomness in my ears and my little trout souffle starter, and it was called the Style Bridge. This pub's called the Style Bridge, and I've been driving past it for weeks and that now, and I'm thinking it's not open. It's really not busy. And what I noticed was a for sale board outside this morning. So they're now selling it. So this local pub that was good for the community in that area, used to get the travelling community in there, used to get all sorts. Now, I love the travelling community, but I've got to be honest, I do struggle with understanding what they're saying sometimes, because it seems they've got their own unique language. And I do get most of it. I get about 80% of what they're saying, but it's when they say, "What, my brother?" I'm like, what's that? But they're lovely people. Anyway, they used to go in there and used to get all families going. It was nice, but now they've shut it and they're selling it. So what they're going to turn it into, Lord only knows. But that's obviously, it's an agenda. There's an agenda going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Do you see what's going on? How to come buy a load of assets cheaply. Well, you just create this environment and then you go around and you start strip it. Now, I would hate to think of the amount of boozers, pubs, whatever it is you want to call them, around the country that are now on their knees. Because as grandiose as pubs look, there's not really many that are overly profitable, because they've all got to pay the big expensive breweries and this, that, and licensing fees. So I would say if you're running a pub, it's got to be busy for it to be viable. All right, because everyone's got their hands in your pockets, pretty much. That's how I see it. So now we've got a family that's been displaced. They're going to lose their livelihood, lose their business. For what? That's the big question for me. I've got a big question mark around all this with a big full stop dot at the bottom. What's this all about? Why is all this happening? Are these pubs going to be sold cheaply? Is it to break down the fact that we used to go into these pubs and talk nonsense over the bar with all of our brothers and sisters and share ideas and hug people and obviously have a fight now and again? But what's the agenda with the pubs? Why are all the golf courses shut? Why are all the gyms shut? Why have we got a Gestapo-like police in this country now that are absolutely 100% performing like the Third Reich SS? The public sector should never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, have the right to dictate to us, the people, the very thing, the fabric that made this system. We, the people, are the very fabric that made it. But now it's taken over. It's absolutely taken over. And where is this all going to stop? That's for me. So that's a real shame and a tragedy this morning, because I'm thinking that family's now going without. That family's probably struggling. They've shut down. No one can go. And where I've just been, they're a couple. I used to play quite a bit of golf with him. He's now at the doctor's on the happy pills because he needs it to get through with the stress of moving and that, and he's not seeing anyone. And I'm like, these doctors they've got you exactly where they want you right now. They really, really have got you exactly where they want you. And for me, I've always been about denying them, and I don't care what the system says it is, whether it says, oh, it's all for your benefit. Well, if it's for my benefit, that's good. But if it's actually to harm me and to strip me, then I don't want no part of it. Surely to God, we have the right as children of God to make that decision, do we not? Or are we now just corporate slaves? And are we there on the latter, that we are really, for all intents and purposes, we come into this world and we leave this world, and all we're ever seen as is corporate revenue to be taxed, to be had by these men and women. Now, all these big corporations that you've got, the Queen, who's a corporation, the HMCTS, the HMRC, all these courts, they're just corporations. They're businesses. They're running for profit. They're creations of men and women. We created them. And one thing's for sure, we can uncreate them. Does that make sense? Because it should be our wish and our happiness that comes first. Like Ken Dodd used to sing, happiness. I remember in the 70s when this corporate machine was just really ramping up and getting going. It really didn't affect too many people in their private capacity. And people didn't need mental health tablets because there was no need for them, because social services weren't really stealing children from families for money. The police weren't kicking people's doors in and nicking their houses and nicking their cars unless a proper crime had been committed. Now, we're all up for grabs. We're all up for grabs. And for me, it's got to stop. It absolutely has to stop. And only we can make it stop. That's the big thing here. Good morning, Stephanie Terry. How are you, darling? Is this your first time, Steph? Maybe press the like button, hit the bell button, and subscribe. Why not? Come on, let's get it on. I'm not far off 1,000 people now. I did a fantastic stream yesterday to my brothers and sisters in Australia. We had 3 hours with them. Once I've got the link for that, I will be sharing it, and you can listen to it if you want to. It's good. Look, I'm just someone that's talked up a lot over the years. You know, I'm someone that when I see bad things happening, I want to know why. I've always liked knowing how things work. Like, this is a dispensed battery. This one's dead. My missus bought some Duracells yesterday. I think she's coming to some money. On my money. This is no good, but I know the function of it. I know what makes it up. I know it's got a positive and a negative, and I know what its function is. And I like to know, I like to know these things. I like to know how a central heating system works. I like to know how to plaster. I like to know how to build houses, because I find it really interesting, because these skills, once you've learned them, no one can take them away from you. I built this place. We built it. I built it. Why? Because our life skill, I like to work with these, and put a smile on my face and have a nice time while I do it. We've lost our enjoyment with this corporate world. Years ago, we used to have very impressionable people that, went out into the art world, Picasso, Van Gogh, and all these others, and all these big creators that used to build all these wonderful, beautiful buildings and that. And the thing was, they were never under the corporate cosh. It weren't like this. We're really living in some crazy times, man. Just crazy times. So how many other pubs have shut down? How many other pubs are up for sale? Who's going to be buying them? What they're going to be turned into? This communist grab is getting outrageously out of order. It really, really is. Keep dead batteries. They can keep you alive. They have amino acids in. Do they really? Auntie Mandy, that's what I like about you. You're very switched on. Trevor, good. I can't be too long on here. I've got to ring Tony Piper and have a good old chat with mate Tone. But yeah, it is what it is. And I just find it so tragic. And I guarantee you that for all of the furore of the media and are you doing enough? Can you look them in the eyes? They're having a very detrimental effect on the people and livelihoods of this country, more so than the virus or this thing warrants. That's the point. It's not measured. It's not measured. This is completely outrageous. We have massive suicide rates. We've had over 70,000 people lose their homes due to this time period. And who's paying you for these 2 years of getting your life back? Because government are now actively ruining your lives. They're not there for you. They're there for corporate business. And they sold out. Last year, the UK corporation was dissolved. You're now in this big corporate global reset, whatever it is. The UK corporation was dissolved last year, ladies and gentlemen. Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that. It's done. It's finished. It's over. It's all been sold out. You've all been sold out. You've all been sold. You don't realise you as individuals are sold. You're owned. Now, I don't like Animal Farm. And I certainly don't like the pigs in control. And everyone else just looking around going, they're doing it for us. They're doing it for our safety. We're all so lovely jubbly. Look, wow, this Boris Johnson, he's there for us. He's always doing... Listen, If they were there, truly there for us and for our benefit, they wouldn't have men with machine guns patrolling the streets and kicking the bejesus out of you and putting triplex windscreen in your face. That wouldn't be happening. You're on Animal Farm, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to go and watch Animal Farm. Let me tell you, I'm not the porno movie, you perverts. The film that George Orwell did years ago. And Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. Go and watch it and see the where you are right now as a people, as a country, as a race. The depression, I want to go out. I'm on lockdown. The mentality of people. Well, I said, well, just go out. You want to go out? Go out. Well, you're not allowed out. Says who? Well, says Boris. Well, is Boris your dad? Is Boris your master? Is he Massa? Yes, Massa. Don't think so. Auntie Mandy, I'm in exactly the same position as you. Auntie Mandy saying, my mortgage is paid off, but I'm under no illusion that they'll still try and take it by saying the building has COVID. That's disgusting. The coronavirus bill so they can burn it down if they see fit. Well, yeah, they own the property. And when you claim to own things, like the government claims to own us, keeps us all our souls are held in custody at the Vatican. We know this from the papal bulls and all that. When you claim to own something, it means you can destroy it. Yeah, it means I can claim to own this. I can throw it in a fire, and boom, it's gone, disappeared. I could destroy it because it's in and under my control, and that's what we are to the system. We're under the control of the old bill. We're under control of the councils, local authority. Well, who has an authority? Because in these authorities, it's just men and women. They're just men and women. They didn't land from some superior race, a superior planet. They didn't come here as overlords. They come here exactly the same way as you did, through a sweaty vagina. I know I'm basic, but at least I'm truthful. That's how they come into the world. With mum hanging on to the old man's beard, saying, you did this to me. And bosh, you enter the world. They enter the world exactly the same way as you do. But yet they enter this system and they go and work for these big corporations, and they're told, they're given this illusion. You own all the people in this area. You own all their property. You own a lot. You have the right to take their children. You have the right to take their cars. You have the right to take their homes. You know where that all leads, ladies and gentlemen? Total destruction. It will lead and end in total destruction. And we're seeing it now. 250 people in the height of the snow 2 weeks ago in Scotland, in Glasgow at night, queuing up for soup kitchens. Queuing up for soup kitchens and to get bread. Lord knows where they're sleeping, whether they got homes to go to. Does Boris Johnson care? No. Does anyone in that government care? No. They couldn't care less. The only thing that matters to these people is paperwork, contracts, and control. That's it. And I didn't come into the world for that. I now know that I did not come into the world to be tolerating that nonsense, because all men are created equal. That's the end of it. No one has the right to govern you. No one has the right to tell you what to do. I'm sorry, but it's true. And these are the truths that we're all slowly peeling back and waking up to. The Vatican is gone. Who is holding the souls? Absolutely right, Frank. We're struggling to see a postman round here. Post is only coming once or twice a week. I've sent off some things to the HM Treasury. Not got there yet. 2 weeks ago. Not got there. What's going on? There's something really sinister going on out there. Really, really, really sinister. There is something going on, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what they've got planned, but unless you want to live in a Soviet Union, you've got to push back. You've got to start saying no. You've got to start withdrawing yourself, withdrawing your consent. Because it's only you that give these people a lifeline. It's only you that give the councils a lifeline. If you stopped all funding the councils, they'd soon collapse because they got too big. They got too complacent. They've become narcissistic, crazy people that think they have the absolute right to come and kick your door in with their men with weapons of war, take your stuff and do what the fuck they want. That's their mentality, and they won't change. They have a right. My mate Toby Lee was in court years ago for council tax, and this woman, she's going, Mr. Lee, da da da, and she was acting like a totalitarian with her attitude, her mannerism, and the way she was poking her tits out with her eye heels. I thought, you're a feminazi, man. But they can't see it. She won't never admit that to herself. I'm just doing my job. I've got the power to do this. Well, see where it all ends. See where it all ends. We can change direction, ladies and gentlemen. And I keep saying to people, you know, I'm a high vibrational individual. Your life is your life. You're here once. God put you here once. Your mum and dad made you, but you all come from that one consciousness, God. And he didn't put you here to live in fear. He didn't put you here to be controlled by people. He put you here to be free. He give you dominion over the earth, right? He give you dominion, and we give it all away cheaply because we don't know any different. Feminazi, yeah, man, they're out there. Let me tell you, there's plenty of them gangsters about. My God. Yeah. And I actually have to say that the females have bigger balls than the men now. Most men are walking around in saris and dresses, but the women, well, yeah, let me tell you, I know a few hardcore women, and I wouldn't mess with them. No, sirree. They'd serve me up and sit on my face. They would. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be out around them. Oh, no. Very, very strong. And I like that. I like people to be strong, independent souls, but I want them to have a humility about them. I want them to be decent. I want them to be able to look at every other individual as their brothers and sisters. And that's how I look at you lot, and I hope that's how you look at me. You know, I want you all to be free. I want you all to be able to sleep easy at night. I want you to be able to put your head on your pillow and know that no one's going to come through your door and try and take away these things that you deem to be yours. Your cars, we all seem to think that the cars are ours. You know, we put the fuel in it, we change the windscreen wipers, we pump the bastard tyres up, we clean them, we wax them, we do all sorts. We top the oil up in the engine, we change the spark plugs and cam belts, we do all that great stuff, keep them on the road, we take them for an MOT, we do all this nice stuff. And just because you can't service these service corporations with a certain piece of paper, next thing, your car's in a compound and could be crushed. Surely to God, you've got to question the mentality of that. You've got to question, you've got to come to a conclusion where you say, it wasn't mine in the first place, right? Wasn't mine in the first place. Because equity means that no one can come and take your stuff off you. Unless due process of law. If you've murdered, you've raped, you've pillaged, different story. Different story. But this current system that we got is really alien to us, but we've all tiptoed into it. We've all tiptoed into it. But now I'm at a point in my life where I realise that it is fucked up, and these people have become so violent and evil that they seem to think it's normal to drag someone out of a car, scream at them, bash them with batons, shoot them, tase them, put anal beads in them. They seem to think it's normal to dislocate people's shoulders in cells and use restraining techniques and make them pass out. That's normal to these people. They go home and sleep. You bet they sleep at night. You bet when they get home, yeah, they're sleeping all right. They get their all licks in them and they get up the next day and go and do it all again. And people say to me, oh, yeah, Dave, but there's good coppers out there. I say, bullshit. Where are the good ones when the bad shit's happening? I could not watch any one of my mates go and pick on someone. Say we was all walking down the road, 5 or 6 of us, and a little old dear's out there in a wheelchair, and one of my mates goes and kicks her off the wheelchair or whatever. I couldn't stand by and tolerate that. Because I've got a good soul. And you should apply that math and that reason to the police. When the bad coppers are doing all the bad stuff and really stepping outside their oaths and abusing people, and they'll be say, did you swear an oath? Oh, I can't remember. Don't fucking swear them then. Don't swear them. Don't swear to serve people, property and liberty. Don't swear it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because you're a fucking mockery. And an embarrassment, quite frankly, to decent people of this country. A proper embarrassment now, becoming very fast. A proper embarrassment. And a tyranny. An absolute tyranny. You know, you've got a little civil matter going on. No, I ain't paying that parking fine. Fuck off. Next thing, the police around, kicking your door in, dragging you down the cells. Oh, you don't pay the fine, we're going to take your kids off you. What the fuck? What are you on, crazy boy? What do you mean? Listen, I don't care whether you're rolling around in a little flat on bare floors. You're probably one of the best mothers this world's ever seen and best fathers this world ever seen. But then someone comes along and says, you can't pay a fine, you're a bad parent. What the fuck has money got to do with bringing up a child? Please tell me. What has monetary interest and gain got to do with bringing up a child? Apart from zero. Am I on Wake Up Tonight? Yes, sir. Pubs will close down, houses, flats were built for the illegal immigrants and forgot the millions of people on the street living rough. Steph, I can't disagree with you. You seem to be with your foot. And this is the thing that's happening now. People are really waking up. People, we're not having the vaccine. Oh, no, yeah, we're not sure. I'm glad. Honestly, I am absolutely chuffed that people are switching on their grey matter. God gave me a good brain. He gave me an outside perspective to think outside the box, to have a realisation that we're all born equal, and the realisation that we've all been swindled. You know, I can't operate in my life in the way that the system operates, because I can't go and do something great for someone and charge them $6,000 and take it out and leave them with nothing. And that's what the system does to us. Because once I've done that and we've exchanged that energy, they give me these little pound notes and I've done the stuff, that's theirs. Why do we have our own public servants robbing us? Why? Why do we as a people tolerate that? Why do we tolerate our servants robbing us? Why? Why do we tolerate and accept and make excuses? That's the big one for me. It's not about why do we tolerate it. It's why do we blindly make excuses for that behaviour? Why? What have we become? You know, back in the day when England was Albion and a village or an area would be attacked or due to be attacked, people would go and light beacons, and the beacons would be seen from one hill to another, and they'd light another beacon. All of a sudden, that little village and surrounding would have thousands of people there, all turning out to protect it. That's a together people. That are people that turn out prepared to die to protect others. Where's that spirit gone? Why are we all so dissected? Why don't we know our neighbours? Why don't we care about our neighbours? Why is it when two families with two front doors have got steps leading down to a path, does one member of one family come out and sweep the snow off their side of the path but don't do the other side? Surely it's just as easy and as quick to do the whole path so both families can benefit, right? That's the decent, nice thing to do, isn't it? But there's so many selfish ones out there. And I wish I had a magic wand. Truthfully, I do. I wish I had a magic wand to make this all stop. And I do in a certain respect of if I had, or we had as a collective, very large numbers of people. Bearing in mind the people that run this country, you could put them all in one room. But there's 65 million of us, and we passively tolerate this bullshit. We're too scared to face it. We're too scared to be bothered to take notice of it until it affects us. And I was culprit of that, trust me. I was an absolute culprit of that. But something happened years ago that cut me to the core. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to work out how the battery works. I'm going to work out how the boiler works. Same with the system. I'm going to work out how you're working. And I'm going to work out who's pulling the levers and how it's happening. That's all I did. Am I crazy conspiracy theorist? No, just a man wanting to walk his own path in his own sweet freedom as given to him by God Almighty. Is that so bad? I don't think it is. The government don't care about the people. It's all about money and profit and raping our children. They've been raping our children for centuries and we've been letting them get away with it. Lord, 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 I only hope that Almighty God sends them straight to hell. And he will. God won't tolerate none of that. Let me tell you. The Bible clearly says If you take your brother's blood, I will require yours. And it means you'll go to the pit. Don't go to the pit, people. I want your soul. I'm a soul. I want your souls to be saved. Because you are a soul, first and foremost. You are a spirit. And I don't want you, when you die, to go to a bad place. And most people, you won't. But the people in the system that are doing such wicked, because every man keeps his own book of deeds, so does every woman. And you'll be judged on your deeds, whether good or bad, clearly written in the word. And I read the word and I consider it to be my foundation. And I just think there are so many souls going to the pit right now. You've got no tomorrow. And I know that God has the last laugh. For sure he does. York Mental Health Community Team, short notice, turned up to check my mental health. God bless you, Kenneth, because GP concerns. Oh, we're worried about your state of thinking. Why? Because I don't think the way that you want me to think. Is that why you're here? Well, yeah. You're not singing from the postage stamp mentality. Oh, okay. So that warrants a mental health team, right? All right. Okay. Sick. Because the doctors, we're concerned. We're really concerned. We're going to come and bust your door in. See him talk to you quickly about unresolved child issues considered a mental disorder. Oh, it is. The whole of it's an asylum, isn't it? You ring up a counsellor. What area do you live in? Well, I live in so-and-so. Oh, sorry, you're not in my ward. What do you mean a ward? I don't live in a hospital. Wards are in hospitals, isn't it? No, wards are out here. Everywhere you live, Liverpool, Toxteth, Tottenham, wherever. You live in a ward. You live in a ward with all the other asylumers. And that's how they see it. They don't. We're goyim. They call us goyim, cattle. The not chosen. They see us as cattle. They genuinely see us just to be raped and pillaged with no soul and no spirit. That's the truth. And many people can't handle the truth. They just can't handle it. I can, and I accepted it. And it is what it is. People, I'm going to get going. I'm going to go and cut some kindling up for my log burner. I'm going to ring Noisy Tone. I will be on Wake Up UK tonight from 9 o'clock till 10:15. Feel free to come and join the platform. It's free. You can come into the chat room and you can join the chat if you like through Zoom. Zoom is really, really good. Stay blessed. Don't let them get you down. I want you all to pump yourself up with good energy today. I want you all to be out there. Don't worry about what's happening. Don't worry about tomorrow if you don't get out of bed. Don't worry about it. If you die tonight and you don't get tomorrow, don't worry about it. God's got you covered. You've got no need to worry about anything, all right? Because when you're worrying, you're not living, you get into fear, your stress hormones go up, your cortisol goes up. It's bad for you. It gives you heart attacks and strokes and all that sort of shit. Who cares what tomorrow brings? Someone once asked Joan Collins, Joan, you've made it. You're a multimillionaire. Everything you ever want. Have you got everything you ever want? She went, no, I haven't. She said, I've not got tomorrow yet. How true is that? Anyway, have a good one, people. I love you all. Stay blessed, stay safe, and don't believe the hype. Make your own minds up and your own judgments, but make sure your judgments are moral, not legal or illegal. Take care.